Thank you, Brenda. That was beautiful. A town with a view. That's us. Good morning. It is July the 28th, 2024, in case you didn't know. What a difference a week can make. A week ago, Joe Biden was still the Democratic nominee for president. I think it was during our service. He appropriately said, I'm stepping aside. The Olympics are happening. Summer is definitely here in full force, and we're glad you're here. In case you don't know where you are, this is the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of Fayetteville. We're glad you're here. There are people joining us online, live, and there are actually a lot of people, dozens of people will join us later. And so we're glad you are with us virtually on Facebook or later on YouTube. Good to have you. If this is your first time, you don't have to do this, but we'd like you to fill out a white card. And besides your name, the other key thing here is your email. We like to put you on our announcement list. Announcements go out every Wednesday or Thursday. Also, and you can drop that in the offering basket later. There's a yellow card. Part of our service later on is sharing joys and concerns. A lot of people just drop a stone. And some people do that and fill out a card. If there's something you want to share with the rest of us. Now, it may be you just want it shared with the minister and the care team. In that case, indicate you do not want it shared with the fellowship as a whole. Circle the no. And those joining us online can write your joys and concerns in the comments, and those will be read aloud at the appropriate time. If there's anyone who has hearing concerns, hearing needs, we have some devices that David can help you out with back here. I don't see any little ones or hear any screaming, but we do have a nursery and a playground and a foyer, so those are available. Well, one of the mottos of UUism that I like is deeds, not creeds, which is kind of unusual for a church. The idea that we care more about how you behave than we do about exactly what you believe. How do you play that out? And it's very fitting that our speaker today is Mayor Lioneld Jordan. There are a lot of great things about Fayetteville, Arkansas, and one of them is Mayor Lioneld Jordan. He is a longtime friend of the fellowship who's spoken here many times, although I noticed looking back, he has not spoken since during the pandemic. He spoke to us on Zoom back in 2020. So we need to have him back more often than that, but we're very glad he's here today. Mayor Jordan was first elected to the city council in Actually, 2000. He was elected to the city council and then remained as a council member until 2008 when he ran for the position of mayor. And he won in a runoff and has been reelected in 2012, 2016, 2020. Could be running again is running this year. Definitely is running this year again. So I'm glad there's not a term limit on that because we love you as our mayor. A very progressive individual, which fits in very well with our values and the things we treasure. Mayor Jordan is known for his open door, open mind, open heart philosophy, and he applies his core principles of equality, diversity, and inclusion through every action. Well, we look forward to his speaking to us in the service. And now let me welcome Caroline and David to light our chalice as we begin.
Please join us as we light our chalice. Love is the spirit of this community, and service is its prayer, to dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in truth, and to help one another. Thus do we covenant together. Thank you.
We're singing Wait Now My Senses, which is page number 298 in your gray hymnal. And please stand.
Hello. My name's Abby Horsager, and I have the pleasure today of getting to read to you the story for all ages. And this week we chose We Are Water Protectors by Carol Lindstrom. So Mayor Jordan will be getting to speak about addressing climate change and the housing crisis. And so we wanted to pick something that was kind of on theme, which was a hard choice because there's a lot of really good children's books out there. So this is We Are Water Protectors. And I guess I also didn't say, my husband and my son and I are fairly new here to the community. We've been here about a year. So hello if I haven't met you, if I'm a new face for people. And I have also been helping out with the youth group downstairs. So if you see me there, that can be the other connection of who I am here. So, time for all ages. We are water protectors. Water is the first medicine, Nokomis told me. We come from water. It nourishes us inside our mother's body, as it nourishes us here on Mother Earth. Water is sacred, she said. We stand with our songs and our drums. We are still here. The river's rhythm runs through my veins, runs through my people's veins. My people talk of a black snake that will destroy the land. Spoil the water, poison plants and animals, wreck everything in its path. When my people first spoke of the black snake, they foretold that it wouldn't come for many, many years. Now, the black snake is here. Its venom burns the land, courses through the water, making it unfit to drink. Take courage. I must keep the black snake away from my village's water. I must rally my people together. To stand for the water, to stand for the land, to stand as one against the black snake. We stand with our songs and our dreams. We are still here. It will not be easy. We fight for those who cannot fight for themselves, the winged ones, the crawling ones, the four-legged, the two-legged, the plants, trees, rivers, lakes, the earth. We are all related. Tears like waterfalls stream down, tracks down my face, tracks down my people's faces. Water has its own spirit, Nicolemas told me. Water is alive. Water remembers our ancestors who came before us, she said. We stand with our songs and our drums, and we are still here. We are stewards of the earth. Our spirits have not been broken. We are water protectors. We stand. The black snake is in for the fight of its life. Thank you. All right. As a community of people that care about each other, we share our various joys and concerns. We invite you to share your ups and downs as you desire. You can come up to the front and drop a stone for any joy and concern, as we heard earlier. And if you did fill out a card, then do please feel free to bring that up to me. I'll come down here. And again, please indicate if you would like that to be confidential. If not, I will share it up here so that our community can support you. And also then anyone on Facebook, feel free to type in the comments. If you do type in there, that will be public, so that will be shared. Okay. thank you for everyone for dropping stones. And first I'll share some of the concerns of our community. This is a place of memory and hope, of visions and dreams. We are now the keepers of this memory, the foundation we stand on. We are now the hands and hearts of our dream for the future. An offering will be taken to help fulfill our vision and honor the legacy we share. I invite you to share as you are willing and able. Thank you.
Well, good morning, everyone. It's really good to be back with you again. I have missed this place, to tell you the truth. I've thought about you often, and this is a whole lot better than Zoom. Right? It is really exciting. I thought I had aged a little bit when Jean was giving me the introduction. I thought maybe I might have been on the Titanic or something, but I am. But it's wonderful. I love this place. I want y'all to know that. I love all of you. Y'all have really been a support for me over the years. You've been absolutely wonderful for this community, and I can't tell you what an honor and a privilege it is for me to be here today with you all, and I mean that. My topics today was climate change and housing. Patty told me I had about 20 minutes. Well, we'll see how that works. I have a few more topics to run by you. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm not. But let's start with the latest reports that I have for you on housing, on the housing crisis. So we've been dealing with this. I saw this coming probably a couple of years ago because the inflation rate had went up 30%. We were seeing that on our bond projects that, thank you all, we all passed in 2019. But we saw that we were having to cut back on our projects because of the inflation had gotten so out of hand. We were looking at a 30% inflation. Now, I said if I know anything about what is going on with the building products, materials going up like it is, then inflation's going to hit everything, hit the whole fabric of the whole city. That means people that's buying houses, people that is renting. So it's, you know, we got to start trying to get prepared. I thought we were better prepared. Actually, it hit really fast. And it didn't just hit here. It hit in the region and we're dealing with that in the state and in the United States. It's a national problem that we're going to have to address, and it can only be done when we work together. Everybody's got to take care of everybody else. And you all know me, and they don't throw things around like open door, open mind, open heart. That's what I believe, and I have believed that since I was 10 years old. I didn't just learn that last Tuesday. Well, speaking of last Tuesday, but no, but we saw the housing issues coming, and what we have, now I know the council a couple months ago, about 3 months ago, passed we have a housing crisis, which we knew we did. Now here's the concern that I have right now. Right now we have a housing shortage. The available affordable housing is gone. I wish I could put that a little more delicately, but it's true. You're not going to see prices that you saw in in 2010 and even 2020. It's accelerated. And what has not accelerated is wages. Now, when I look at a report and see that houses have gone up 173%, and wages have gone up 90%, the gap is getting wider. When you see houses on average of $365,000 average, and people are still making $12 to $15 an hour, they will never own a home. They can't afford to pay rent, and we've got to address that. Some of the things that we are doing as a city is, first of all, to be honest with you, it's got to start with state legislature. Okay, I know. I don't have Christmas dinner with them either. We have got some great representatives that come right out of this city, top of the line. Always remember that. Well, I don't even have to tell you all that. But support them. Make sure they stay in office, because they are on the cutting edge. They are where the rubber hits the road. But they're working very hard, and they're doing a great job representing us, and they see this housing thing. But we cannot get much into controlling the rent until we get some state legislation in that has some laws where we can do some enabling legislation here on city level. Now, we can make comment. In the region, we talk about it. But I have the opinion, this is I believe, that instead of trying to make cheapskate houses on cheapskate prices so they can meet cheapskate wages, why don't we raise the living wage for people where they can afford a house? It's time. It's time. And we can address this. Now, the affordability, I would like to see the prices come down, of course. And I think that we're seeing right now I'm seeing that the materials are starting to level off, and the interest rates are starting to slowly come back down again. But I think that we're not going to see the kind of reversal that people think, but we can look at paying people a decent living wage. So now I'll discuss a few moments about the homeless situation that we've dealt with. Right now, this city, and I don't know if you know this or not, we have spent almost $4 million in 5 years on homeless and low-income families. Right now, the city is housing 47 people that would be homeless. But we've got them in and helping them pay their rent and make their payments, and we have wraparound services for them. Seven Hills, we have spent $750,000 for Seven Hills in the last 5 years. So we're averaging almost about over $900,000 a year just on that situation. Now, I don't know what the other cities are doing in this region, but I'm telling you, we're doing our part right now. We're doing our part. Everybody else needs to. When I go to a regional meeting, they'll say, and they'll talk about all the things that's going on in their cities and all this and all that, and they'll say, what do we need to be working on? And the first thing I say, we got to start working on this homeless situation. All of us together. One city can't do it alone. This is not just the city of Fayetteville. This is a regional issue. This is a state issue. This is a national issue, and it's got to be addressed. And if we don't do it, who's going to do it? And if we don't do it now, when's it going to get done? So we have a workforce training programs that we work with the library, and we've been funding that, where people can get better trained, to get a better job, to get higher wages, to buy a house. And right now, then let's go on to. Let's see. Boy, I got a whole bunch of stuff. But I'll zip on through it. But you can corner me after this meeting's over. We've received 2 grants in the last 6 months. One is for safer cities where we can do alternative transportation. And this grant that we received was $25 million. Now listen to this. Only one city in the United States received more money, and that was New York City, and they received $28 million. Not bad, huh? I wanted to share that this morning. And we're going to take that. We're going to change 71B. I'm getting a little excited. I told myself I wouldn't do this. We're going to start at Cato Springs Road on the south end. We're going to completely change the face of 71B all the way to the Springdale line. We're going to have alternative transportation, and you see pictures. We'll get a little more into the environment. We got a nice grant on that one too, where it's got the pictures of the tree canopy. What we're going to do is we're going to put alternative transportation where people can do biking and walking from Cato Springs all the way to the Springdale line, and we're going to put tree canopy back along both sides of that road where we've got tree canopy again. I said, well, you know, but the 71B is a huge, I hope you all did fill out some of those surveys. We had over 1,000 people fill out those surveys. And it's going to change the face of this city. Absolutely. Then we're going to change the zoning. Right now, the zonings are going to be changed on 71B, where we start to do mixed use along there from Cato all the way to the Springdale line, where we put the big tall buildings. along the 71B instead of demolishing trees to build more housing. And I'll get into that a little bit later too. That'll take me to the environmental stuff. We just passed Tuesday night. Maybe it was 2 Tuesday nights. I've lost track. But anyway, at the last council meeting, we passed a climate action plan for this city. Best in the state. It's about 100 pages long. It's a good read, though. But we've started working on that, on the climate action plan. And the 71B right now is ready to go. And this is all tying together. The tree canopy, the planting trees instead of demolishing them. So we're tightening up the tree ordinance. Keep your eye on the 71B, because we're going to be putting trees along there, street trees along there, and we're also going to do the alternative transportation where we're not so dependent on cars. We put the taller buildings, this is what's in my head right now, along 71B, and people can walk to the businesses and they don't have to get in a car to go somewhere. And I think that's important, making the city a walkable city as best we can. By the way, we have grown 20,000 people in 10 years. Second largest city in the state. So people are coming because it's a desirable place to live. We've made it that way. So people want to come. And we welcome everybody. As I tell them, we welcome everybody, no matter what the color of your skin, your religious belief, what country you come from, or who you love. You are welcome here and are a part owner here because we believe in a partnership-based government, right? Right? Now back to the climate action plan. I'm working here. I'm working here. Have you heard about the Blue Way? Okay. I see my work is cut out for me. But keep your eye on the climate action plan. Keep your eye on 71B. We'll be at the Planning Commission in 2 weeks. We're fixing to move on that. Be at the City Council whenever the Planning Commission gets done. It could be there as early as October. Maybe earlier than that. Tree preservation. We're going to. I was having on the tree preservation. We're going to tighten that up. We're losing too many significant trees in this town right now. We're going to put that to a stop. I'm working on it. We got an EPA grant. Did you hear about that? The EPA grant? Yeah, you heard about that. $9 million, the largest one in Northwest Arkansas. They got 36 million, we got 9 of it right here for this city. Now that's going to help us with the Blue Way. We're going to do stream restoration along the West Fork. Everybody with me? You know where it is out east. Okay, and all that stream banks eroded away. We're going to completely restore the stream banks. We're going to build a 12-mile kayak park. Yeah. But we've got Greenland and West Fork partnering up with us, but 6 miles of that, almost 7, will be right here in the city of Fayetteville. You'll be able to take your kayaks down there, and I'm not putting no big rocks or boulders or anything. We're not shooting the rapids here. Now we can talk about my age. We are developing that where it's going to be a natural flow of that river. And then the stream banks that have eroded away, we're going to completely rebuild those. Restore those to the way they looked. Maybe, well, I don't know how long they've been eroded away. But we're going to build that, so that'll be something. And then we're going to build a multi-use trail that's going to go all the way along that kayak, so you can take a bike, take a kayak, and that is going to be, and what I like about that, it doesn't cost anybody anything. You don't have to pay to float that river or to take that trail. So in a time when we have a lot of low-income folks that doesn't have a lot of money, there's a place they can go and it doesn't cost them anything. And let me tell you something, we're building an arts corridor. I don't know how you feel about that, but it's going to be done by about November. If the weather holds, it could be done earlier than that. When I was a kid, we didn't have any money. I didn't have nothing. I mean, my parents couldn't expose me to the arts. And I didn't get exposed to the arts till I was in high school, and they sent me over on a bus to see Eugene O'Neill's Long Day's Journey into Night. It changed my life forever. And then I was exposed, truly exposed to the arts. And I have been after that ever since. And what this arts corridor is going to do, the lower Granville and the upper Ramble, we're going to have a water feature that's going to go all the way through what was a parking lot. Okay? So what you're seeing built there is going to have green space on either side of it, and we're going to be able to display arts all the way around it. Going to be a stage where people can come and see a play, and kids can be exposed to the arts, and they don't have to wait till they're in high school. They can start at 3, 4, 5, 6, and it doesn't cost them anything. We will change the face of this city if we do that. You all understand the arts, but there's a lot of kids on the south end of town that's not getting exposed like they should, and we're going to fix that. With that, and their whole families can come. I've got just a few more minutes here. Keep your eye on historic preservation. We're redoing the Porter Warehouse. We're going to restore it to what it looked like in 1906. Woolsey Farm. That farm was built in 1848. We have completely restored that. We're going to have a ribbon cutting out there before long. What we're doing right now, what I'm seeing right now in the city, we've got the housing crisis on one side, and we've got the environmental community on the other side. And we're saying we've got a housing crisis, so we've got to average 1,000 units a year to catch up the amount of growth that we have grown. But with that, we cannot destroy why people are moving here to begin with. You can't destroy your natural heritage. That won't work. Last year, I think we gave away 1,300 trees and we gave away 1,500 trees and we planted around 1,000. And we're going to keep doing that. We're going to keep doing that. We're going to keep our tree canopy strong. But those trees that have been planted are small trees. So the dilemma is you can't knock down your significant trees and plant it with, small trees, saplings. That's not going to work. So we're working right now as a council and an administration to find the balance. Yeah, we got to average more houses, more living units. I'm not saying a house, 1,000 houses, but I am saying 1,000 living units a year, and that comes from multiple housing units. And we've got to plant the trees and protect the streams. You know, if you don't know anything about environmentalism, you got to keep the air clean and the water clean. That's what I told somebody the other day. He said, why are you doing all this preservation, I said, because it's our heritage. And I think, and by the way, we're doing pretty good with the, another thing I just want to touch on, and I'll close with this. Done pretty good. On our economic end, we are averaging one new business a day. Now, I want to clarify that. We're not talking about big, giant factories. We're talking about small businesses and what we define as small businesses, 50 or less employees. A lot of them just got 5 or 10 employees. And we have 3,700 of those. And they represent 22,000 jobs in this city. Entrepreneurship is where it's at for us, I believe. It's the small businesses scattered all over. It's like pieces on a puzzle. All the little pieces make the whole picture once you get it all put together. It's not just 2 or 3 big puzzle pieces. It's all the little pieces. But there's 22,000 jobs there. So, folks, let's keep going. I'm in for the long haul. How about you? Right? Yes. Together we can make, I tell my staff every day, or not every day. Well, I meet with them several times through the week. I'm a real hands-on guy with the staff because I know that staff makes me successful. See, it's the people that work for you or helps you that makes you successful. There's not a day that I don't come in that office and somebody is scrubbing the floors in City Hall, and I said, "Thank you, Toby, for keeping the place clean." Always show appreciation for the people that get you where you need to go. Always. Always. Don't forget them. I always tell them, as I tell the staff and leadership, I said, the most important thing you can do if you want to be a successful leader is develop other leaders. And they're going to make some mistakes, and then you got to cover them. And then they develop, and then they develop other leaders, and on it goes. This city is a light, I believe, for this state. This organization is one of the lights of this city, and I want you to know that. And I'm not just saying that, because I feel very comfortable with being able to express myself to you all. Because we don't, we accept everybody. And that's why we call it a partnership-based government. But I'm running again. Then there's that. But I told him, I said, this city's been very good to me. And I've tried to give it everything I've got. I give it every day. I get in that office between 6 and 6:30. They said, "How long do you work?" I said, "I work from 6:15 to exhaustion. 6 days a week, sometimes 7. And I do that because you have the belief in me. And I don't want to disappoint you. So I'm going to give you everything I got. This city's like a wagon that we're all riding in, and every 4 years, if you behave yourself, they'll let you ride in it too. I love you all. Thank you.
Please rise as you're willing and able. This is Blue Boat Home. It is page number 1064 in your teal hymnal. Though below me I feel no motion, standing on these mountains and plains, far away from the rolling ocean, still my dry land heart can say, I've been sailing all my life now, never harbor nor port have I known. The wide universe is the ocean I travel, and the earth is my blue boat home. Sun, my sail, and moon, my rudder, as I ply the starry sea, leaning over the edge in wonder, casting questions into the deep, drifting here with my ship's companions, all we kindred pilgrim souls, making our way by the lights of the heavens in our beautiful blue boat home. I give thanks to the waves upholding me, hail the great winds urging me on, greet the infinite sea before me, sing the sky my sailor's song. I was born upon the fathoms, never harbor nor port have I known. The wide universe is the ocean I travel, and the earth is my blue boat home. The wide universe is the ocean I travel, and the earth is my blue boat home.
I love that song. Please join me in extinguishing our flame. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.
Thank you, Mayor Jordan. I apologize for that crack I made. I hope you're our mayor forever. Forever. Unless you want to run for... Mayors can become congressmen, I've heard. Okay. Not this mayor. Well, I'm glad we've got you here in Fayetteville and the work you do, and I hope we can be supportive of those good things. Mayor Jordan said at one point we talked about having a question and answer, but time is limited. But he said he will stay around as long as anyone wants to talk to him. You want to ask about a pothole? I don't think we have potholes. I might ask about Dean when that's going to reopen, but he fixes everything in the city. So but he's glad to talk to you, and not just today, but anytime you have concerns. He's very, very much the open door. And I can tell you love what you do. I do. And we love you. All right. Our announcements, some of our regular events going on. Women Rowing North. I don't know if that's kayaking. I don't think it is. Okay. Maybe. But a discussion group. And, of course, our grounds work and other groups going on. Religious education is on a summer break, but we do have an informal group meeting downstairs every Sunday at 10 a.m. just to talk about, shoot the breeze and talk about what's happening, what's going on. And we want to invite all of you to stick around for coffee, juice, water, refreshments, visiting. You don't want to go outside. It's hot, it's humid. You want to stay inside and I encourage you to try to meet someone you haven't met before. And Brenda is going to play us a beautiful song as we go. Thank you.
Thank you.